Jose Carey from Vice Outdoors with another fishing report. A few interesting things have happened, and the number one thing is the Boise River has finally dropped. We are no longer at 1300 CFS, but it has come down to the 800 CFS range, which is amazing because that is now within the safe waiting time, and also it's guide season on the Boise. So expect the reports of the Boise to get a lot more in depth. And we're finally in that fishing season. This is also the time to totally reach out. If you want to learn a new skill, or if you just want to get to know the Boise River a little better, let us know. We're happy to show you those things. It's literally our job. But if you do choose to go hit the Boise River, now's the time. Nymphing is almost always the name of the game. Expect it to be a little shaky over the next couple days as those fish adjust to the dropped water. That's a pretty big drop from 1300 to 800, so give them a couple days. By the weekend, I would expect things to be looking up. Your tractor patterns are always going to be a good bet, from your hare's ears to your Frenchies to your Perdigons. Those are all going to be good. Green is always a good color in those Perdigons. Also, this is a good streamer season, so take out those jig streamers or just start swinging. And that's a good way to find some fish during these seasons. Remember, it's still float season, so you might have to get creative about where you go. Lower river could still be quite good during this time, but it's exciting that the Boise is now at that fishable range. South Fork of the Boise is still at that 1200 CFS, and I would expect to see it stay there for the next week or two, probably. It could come down soon, as Anderson Ranch is getting a little bit more empty, and we're kind of getting down to the actual summertime, where they start turning down the water a little bit. Lucky Peak is starting to empty out. That's going to be empty in the next couple weeks. So we're still at that time where water is going to be flowing pretty consistently. Temperatures are still going to be good on the Boise Main and South Fork of the Boise. I would avoid wading it if you can. There are some wadable areas in the Cow Creek area, but this is definitely still float time. So caddis or the bugs coming off. There are still some golden stones left on the water, and the pink cahill is definitely coming off. Mormon crickets are making their way down to Cow Creek Bridge, so if you want to throw a big foam bug, the Mormon cricket can be a really cool time, and there are fish that eat them. And that's coming up real soon over the next couple weeks. I'd expect that to be on the menu over on the South Fork of the Boise. The Oahe River is fishing really well right now. And it's gotten a little interesting. They just bumped the water up to 200 CFS, which makes it a little bit more technical. Temperature came right back down, and it's pushing a little bit more water through the system. PMDs are still a solid bug. Midges are back on the menu, and so are blue wing olives. So if you find yourself up closer to the dam where that water gets cold, midges and blue wing olives are a really important bug to have in the box. That can be in the emergers, that could be on the dries or the nymphs. So definitely have yourself a good variation of bugs there. Hoppers are still on the menu, but the fish have figured that out. So switching to an ant or a beetle can actually get a little bit more action and a few more bites on those terrestrials. So definitely keep those in the bag. And it's also a good streamer season right now. Those smaller streamers from that 6 to size 10 is going to be a really good bet. So go swing your buggers, go swing your favorite streamer, and those fish are being pretty willing on eating. Middle Fork of the Boise is hot. If you choose to go up there, early morning is going to be your best bet, and getting really high up to the confluence of where the North Fork is, and even above it is where those trout are starting to be found. And they are not picky when they're eating. They will eat just about anything on the top, any kind of hopper, stimulator. Those are all going to be really good bets. You can play the nymph game if you want. They'll eat those as well. But by noon, that water is getting really hot, and I do mean really hot. I was up there on this last week, or this Monday I was there, and we saw water hit 76 degrees in the afternoon. That is really hot. The interesting thing is there's a lot of smallmouth bass in the system right now. So take some streamers. When that water gets warm, switch to a streamer, swing through those holes, and even the faster water, lots of smallmouth bass to be had. Go down to the reservoir, hit those smallmouth bass. They are a hoot on the fly, but give those trout a break. when the afternoon sun comes up, because it does get warm. There's no guarantee that those fish are going to recover. And remember, if you don't have a thermometer, now's a good time to get one. We're getting to where temperature is going to matter. The Boise River, Oahe River, and South Fork of the Boise River are all doing okay, but the middle fork of the Boise is getting warm, as is the North Fork. So remember, when that water is up above 65 degrees, we really want to think about targeting other fish besides trout, because they're going to struggle to regain their breath, and they may die as a result. So that is your choice as an angler. It's your conservation mindset, and I'm not here to tell you what to do, but we try as fly fishermen with the catch and release mindset to be very mindful of those temperatures, and 65 is starting to get to the point where there's no guarantee of a safe release. Get down to the Snake River, start throwing some streamers, start chasing some carp and bass. Those guys don't mind the heat, and they're eating very, very well. Keep an eye on those water levels. We're still kind of a little bit on the runoff spectrum, so wade safe, stay hydrated. It's still hot. Take an extra water bottle and have a good time. If you have any questions, please leave them below. And as always, tight lines.